Ladies and gentlemen, this is Addis News Hour with the news. I'm Shifarao Lako. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the Office of the Prime Minister has shared supplies for the upcoming Ethiopian Easter and Eid al-Fitr holidays. On the occasion of the upcoming Easter and Eid al-Fitr holidays, the Office of the Prime Minister, in the presence of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, shared holiday supplies for a total of 220 people, including low-income workers in the office, according to the Office of the Prime Minister. In another development, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's newest book, Generation Madamar, is now available for online purchases. It is disclosed that the online purchase is available via Ethio Post Shop with international, express and regular shipping options. It is noted that the Generation Madamar book is authored in Amharic, Afan Oromo and English language. It is indicated that the proceeds from the sale of the Generation Madamar book will be bankrolled to renovate historical and tourist attractions in regional states across Ethiopia. Moving on, the Thursday, Monday is one of the days in the Holy Week commemorated by the faithful of the Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity. The Monday is dedicated to the washing of feet, following the example set by Jesus Christ. Shagamata presents the story as follows.
Conceive and give birth to a son, and you will call his name Jesus.
The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has chosen me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind.
I can't see.
To set at liberty those who are oppressed, and announce that the time has come when the Lord will save his people.
Jesus! Your daughter has died. Don't bother the teacher any longer.
Don't be afraid. Only believe and she will be well. Arise. Follow me. Who do you say I am?
You are God's Messiah.
I understand that many have already hailed him as king.
Is it with a kiss that you betray the Son of Man?
Arrest him.
Are you the king of the Jews?
This man? A king?
Into thy hands I commit my spirit.
Well, the viewers, apologies for the technical glitch. Let me remind you the story again. Scholars of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church emphasized the need to give love and affection while providing help to the needy. They urged the faithful to extend their helping hand to the needy, as humility and goodness are not bound by time and place. Kasaun Channe has more on that.
The week leading to Sunday's Easter is known to the faithful of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church as the Holy Week. The Church has always taught the necessity of penance for justification. It has instituted Lent as remembrance of the 40 days fast of our blessed Lord in the desert, and as a means of sanctification for her children. The faithful repent and pray for their sins, and the suffering is committed on Jesus Christ during this week.
የክርስቶስ ሕማም የምንላቸው During this week, it was incumbent upon Christians to remember all that Jesus Christ had to go through. That Jesus was arrested, jailed, stripped, made to cry the cross, and punished by not being fed until the resurrection. Jesus was slapped, ridiculed, called names, and had to undergo the most brutal public display of cruelty by the contemptors.
To the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, Lent, Hudade, or Rabi Tzom means a period of fasting when the faithful undergo a rigorous schedule of prayers and penitence. This fast is observed with greater rigor than any other fast, and it is a test of one's Christianity.
Then follows Holy Week, the week of pains, the Hamamat. For some from Thursday afternoon until Easter morning, no morsel of food, nor a drop of water enters the mouth, and the 3 days are known as Kanonan. The priestess neither ate nor drank, but remain in a church singing and praying incessantly. No absolution is given.
ሐሙስን ደግሞ ያየን እንደሆነ መድኃኒታችን ኢየሱስ ክርስቶስ የደቀ መዛሙርቱን እግር ያጠበበት ነው።
On Thursday, Jesus Christ washed the feet of his disciples to set an example of humbleness. During this day, His Holiness Abuna Matthias, Patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, did the same by washing the feet of the bishops and archbishops. The bishops, for their part, washed the feet of the priests. It is to be recalled that Jesus underlined the need to respect others when seeking respect for ourselves down the hierarchy to the faithful, said the religious fathers.
That was presented by Shagao Yamato. Now, scholars of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church emphasize the need to give love and affection while providing help to the needy. They also urge the faithful to extend their helping hand to the needy, as humility and goodness are not bound by time and place. Kasam Chani presents the story as follows.
The root of this practice is to be found in the hospitality customs of Venetian civilizations, especially where Sundays were at your footwear. A host would provide water for guests to wash their feet, provide a servant to wash the feet of the guests, or even serve the guests by washing their feet. This is mentioned in several places in the Old Testament of the Bible. The celebration of the Holy Thursday Monday among the faithful of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, as well as the Ethiopian Catholic Church, saw a variety of spiritual and religious assortments. His Holiness Abuna Matthias, Patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, as well as archbishops, bishops, preachers, and deacons, attended the Holy Thursday religious ritual at the St. Mary Church, RPDM Skilo area of Addis Ababa. Following the footsteps of Jesus Christ, His Holiness Abuna Matthias washed the feet of disciples. This is by way of imparting humility. All the faithful and scholars approached by ETV underlined that the need to extend a great deal of compassion while helping the needy.
መልካምነት በማንኛውም ጊዜ
Christianity teaches us, the faithful, to act in a manner that extends righteousness to others. This is to say that we are bound by the teachings of our religion to love each other and show compassion to others.
ዮሐንስ መልእክት ስለ መልካምነት ወይም ክርስቶስ ስለ ሰው ልጆች ያደረገውን ፍቅር ሲናገር እርሱ ስለኛ ነፍሱን አሳልፎ ሰጥቷል.
The religious scholars also emphasized the need for doing one's best to help those in need, saying that they don't need to wait for occasions to engage in goodness and humbleness. Foot washing was practiced by the early church before receiving the Eucharist and was reccorded by the early Christian apologist Tertullian. Many denominations, including Anglicans, Lutherans, Methodists, Presbyterians, Mennonites, and Catholics, therefore observe the liturgical washing of feet on Monday, Thursday of Holy Week.
የዛሬው ቀን ማንኛውም አካል ትሁት ላለመሆን ምክንያት እንዳይኖረን
The Monday or feet washing Thursday is a day when faithfulness prevails. It entails Christians to try and extend a helping hand to the have-nots. Jesus taught us the value of humility while kneeling down and washing the feet of disciples.
This day, known as Tzalota Hamus in Ethiopia, is observed by the faithful who attend their church services, large numbers to commemorate Last Supper, participate in a foot washing practice, and commemorate Christ's act of humility.
Now moving to other stories, Foreign Minister Dammaka Makonnen has welcomed to his office the Indian Minister of External Affairs Subramaniam Jaishankar. Dammaka appreciated India's unreserved support for Ethiopia's position in the UN Security Council regarding the conflict in the northern part of Ethiopia and the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam files. He also explained the implementation processes of the Pretoria Peace Agreement, the resumption of humanitarian support and basic services in conflict-affected areas, and the ongoing activities of the All-Inclusive National Dialogue Commission in the country. For his part, Jaishankar said the India-Africa Forum Summit, which was obstructed because of the COVID-19 pandemic, will be held in 2023 with the thematic areas that fit with the interests of developing countries, including the health and digital sectors. The two sides also talked about India's bid to run for a non-permanent seat in the UNSC from 2028 to 2029. That's according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, urges local and international partners to contribute share to the rehabilitation and restoration efforts going on in Ethiopia. The spokesperson of the ICRC Ethiopia also stresses on the need to help people affected by drought in Ethiopia. Goshimal takes it from here.
The International Committee of the Red Cross Society supports conflict and violence-affected people with food and essential items in Ethiopia to establish livelihoods and incomes. Talking to ETV spokesperson of the ICRC urged local and international partners to support the rehabilitation and restoration efforts in Ethiopia.
The needs remain extremely high and we need more resources to be able to respond to this. We need many more humanitarian agencies to respond to these needs. For us at the Red Cross, we are sometimes overstretched because, as you know, we have adopted this all Ethiopia approach, which means we are not focusing in one region or in two regions. We are working in the Oromia region, we are in Amhara region, in Afar region, in the Somali region. Even we are providing physical rehabilitation services in Asosa in the Benishangul Gumuz region. So it's not possible for us to respond to all the needs in all these places with the limited resources that we have. So we need more actors on board.
Despite the need for rehabilitation mounting in Ethiopia, the ICRC complains of shortage of resources hampering its efforts.
The humanitarian needs remain extremely high in Tigray, in parts of Amhara, and in parts of the Afar region. We see growing humanitarian needs in the Welegas. There are many, many more people, thousands of them, who need humanitarian assistance urgently. So we have had to prioritize to be able to save lives with the limited resources that we have at the moment.
He also highlighted that the ICRC is providing psychosocial support to vulnerable communities in war-ravaged areas to regain themselves.
The way we address trauma, we have, at the moment, we really focus on survivors of sexual violence. We are supporting 18 one-stop centers in the country and 8 safe houses. So you go to Adigrat in Tigray, you go to Mekele, Maishu, Shire, you come to Desi, Waldia, Kobo, even in Knekemt. We are supporting one-stop centers. These one-stop centers provide various services.
The ICRC said it continued supporting vulnerable communities and reunite separated families with limited resources.
And now in business, the ETU-US Business and Investment Forum is being held at the United States Council on Foreign Relations. At the forum, Ethiopia's Minister of Finance Ahmed Shide and Ethiopian Investment Commissioner Lelis Enemi made opening keynotes and presentations on business opportunities in Ethiopia. The forum brought together about 100 government and private sector actors from the two countries, FBC sources confirmed. At the event, it was disclosed that different investors have shown interest to engage in Ethiopia in different sectors. The participants of the forum also called on the U.S. to reinstate Ethiopia into AGOA. Moving to international news, North Korea fired a new model of long-range ballistic missile, triggering confusion in North Japan, where an emergency evacuation warning was issued and later rescinded. Pyongyang's missile flew around 620 miles, according to South Korea, which it called a grave provocation. Kidana Ben brings us up to speed.
Missile sirens gave a jolt to residents in Japan's northern island of Hokkaido this Thursday morning. People were told to seek immediate shelter after North Korea fired. In what appeared to be a new model of ballistic missile, the rare missile alert caused a lockup in train schedules, and commuters looked confused at service delays at Sapporo's train station. A break from its usual extreme punctuality, the evacuation warning was later lifted after the missile was confirmed to have fallen outside Japanese territory. Despite the troubles it caused, Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirokatsu Matsuno defended issuing the alert.
Since the point of the J alert is to promptly inform the public of the danger of falling objects from missiles, it was issued from the perspective of prioritizing the safety of our citizens. I believe the decision to issue the alert was appropriate.
Pyongyang's missile flew around 620 miles, according to South Korea, which called it a grave provocation. The launch came days after North Korean leader Kim Jong-un called for strengthening the country's war deterrence in a more practical and offensive way to counter so-called moves of aggression by the United States. Pyongyang's strong words came about as the self-continued joint military drills where the U.S. and South Korean Air Force performed area refueling exercises and clips it released this week. While condemning the latest missile test, Washington renewed its offer to open talks. National Security Council spokesperson Adrian Watson said in a statement, the door has not closed on diplomacy, but Pyongyang must immediately cease its destabilizing actions and instead choose diplomatic engagement.
Well, dear viewers, you have been watching Addis News Hour. Now a quick recap of the top stories. Christian faithful marking Holy Week with assortments. And North Korea missile launch sparks alarm and confusion in Japan. Well, dear viewers, with that we come to the end of today's news. Thank you so much for joining us, and happy Good Friday for the celebrants.